Hello, 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 everyone. We are back with another episode of Red, White, and Brown for you this happy Saturday from News. Mira, Michael, and Shreya on Radios. And this week, we've actually only got two movies for you guys, but they're pretty hot, and we're going to get right into the details. So we're going to give you Dobaara and Duranga this week. And before I tell you almost anything about it, I want to know, Michael from our team went to Key West, y'all, and he managed to come back unscathed, untouched, and nothing happened to this man. However, we can't say that for the rest of our Liveplex team because a lot of us are sick right now. Meaning, we got to know the tea. What did you do, Michael? What did you do in Key West that kept you so safe? Everyone wants to know.
I went fishing. So I was on a boat with not around other people. So was definitely having a great time out in the Florida Keys, catching some yellowtail snapper fish. In fact, actually supplied my lunch and dinner that day. So happy to say my Missouri man roots came out on the boat.
Missouri man roots came out on the boat. I want someone to hashtag that in some comments later. And with that, we're going to transition right into our first review. We are going to give you Dobaara. Michael, Mira, your thoughts, 3000 rooftop review. What was it about? What did you like? What didn't you like?
Well, I loved Dobaara. I have to say that 30,000 is just that. It's a story of it uses the concept of time travel. The story is about, and you got to watch it with really intently. You can be watching this movie with doing something else. So, first off, if you want to watch Dobaara, sit down, get your stuff together. Do not move for the two plus hours of the movie because this movie is going to grip you. It's actually a remake of the Spanish movie Mirage,
which is great because a lot of us haven't probably seen this original Spanish film, and for those of you that may not know what the original was based off of, Mirage is actually based off of a young boy named Nico. This takes place about 25 years ago in the film. And he was murdered during a 72-hour storm after witnessing a man kill a woman. And Nico's, tragic and untimely death is haunted by his friends and loved ones for years. So in the modern day, we have Dr. Vera Roy. He finds a way to communicate with the past version of Nico using an old VHS and ultimately tries to save the boy's life. But in Dobaara, it is set in Pune. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing all of this right. And complies with the original storyline, but also stands out like in style and script, and obviously too many changes with it taking place in India. So you said that this one was very intriguing. You got to sit down and really pay attention. It's also great to see that they're able to utilize this kind of time travel very well. We've had some bad interactions with that in the past, but please tell us, how this one was able to really pull off a good adaptation of the original versus what we all love and hate, which are terrible adaptations.
So I absolutely loved this adaptation because I'll tell you, the director is a guy called Anurag Kashyap, and he's a very accomplished director. And he brings a lot of intelligence to his plots. What I also read and heard was that the rights to the script were actually acquired by Anurag Kashyap when the movie was getting made, not after it was released. But when the movie was getting made, when the script was finalized for the original. So you can imagine that the guy waited for so long and then, created the right assets to do the Indian adaptation of Mirage. But really, the movie opens with a preteen boy called Anai. It's played by Orion Savant, who's recording a video. And while recording a video, he hears a scuffle in the neighbor's house, and he steps out to investigate, but gets hit by a truck and dies. 25 years later, a young couple, Antara and Vikas, played by Taapsee Pannu and Rahul Bhatt, and their daughter Avanti moved into the same house. And Antara discovers, Taapsee Pannu's character discovers the same old camera, watching Anna in the same setting. This time, he talks to her through a television set that is also in the room. So Antara warns him not to leave the house because she knows he'll get killed. But then she wakes up in the house that she doesn't recognize, and she discovers the life like the audience of attendants who done it really. She's no longer a nurse, but she's a neurosurgeon. She doesn't have a nose ring. Her forearm tattoo appears. and she just can't find her daughter. And a lot of people around her tell her that her daughter just doesn't exist. So two timelines, 25 years apart, in one she's a nurse and in the other she's a neurosurgeon. And then this, butterfly effect of time and place. Oh my God. I absolutely love sci-fi. I absolutely love such, crazy intelligent plots. So I just loved it. I just loved the movie. But the good thing about this is it's a thriller.
So we're coming right back at you with Red, White, and Brown by Live. Shreya, Mira, and Michael on Rickin' Around. And we still have a little more to tell you about Dobaara. Where did we stop?
Well, I was going to tell you guys about how many thrillers intrigue us because they want to solve a crime. And over here, Anai does see someone dead, but that's not the hook of the movie. The suspense is the story itself. And that is kind of pretty crazy because you see these two timelines and the same people in two different timelines with different lives, and there's communication between the two timelines, right? So the second half actually of the movie is crazy good because the introduction of a cop happens, and that's played by Pavel Gulati, and he's sympathetic towards Antara. And what also happens is she realizes her friend tells her there's a similar plot. The plot of her life is actually in a book called 212, which is a bestseller, which is only a bestseller in that city. So don't get pissed off if we tell you the rest of the story, but I'm going to just stop here and ask Michael. Michael, what did you feel about the movie in terms of technicalities?
It's good to see a technical team really kind of pull off some of these suspenseful and thriller moments. I think a lot of times, especially from prior reviews we've done, we've definitely noticed that they're just not poorly executed, especially whenever you're in the theater or wherever you're watching, there's just weird sounds coming. I mean, you remember when we were watching Docket that there were just weird overlays of sounds going on. But, this one worked. If what they were trying to achieve was, kind of dragging the audience through the movie all the way until the end, building up some suspense and also a little bit of mystery and some thriller going on, I definitely think it worked. And as far as that too, like if we want to get into like the technical crew, lighting, positioning and whatnot, I thought it was all great. And certainly
where I think they could have really utilized the special effects better was mapping the background score to the movie, which I didn't think they did a great job of. But you're right. A movie like this comes very rarely into Hindi cinema, and that is a big thing. But what I really thought, if you had to break down a plot, Dobaara can be seen as one movie. It's like three movies in one, literally. And that's the design of the script, because there are three separate possibilities happening all at the same time, and three complex timelines all happening, playing out at the same time. And literally, and they depict the cause and effect of things. They also, few things around all these three timelines remain constant. And for example, the child in front of the TV, the murder in the neighborhood, a choice whether, he leaves the house or stays still. You can literally imagine that, the director is playing mind games with you, because it's like a video game where you're given these choices, and based on the choices, the timelines play out differently. And of course, you've seen movies like Gwyneth Paltrow's Sliding Doors. You've seen Run Lola Run that do the same things. The time cause and effect of different timelines. It's just, this movie is all about a child, a TV, and a choice, and the possibility of a different life. So.
Couldn't agree more. And with that, I think we're giving a wrap to this review. Shreya, any final thoughts?
Well, Shreya, do you want to say something?
I actually didn't get a chance to watch it, so the floor is all yours.
Okay, I think the overreaching theme of the entire movie was childhood trauma. And if you've been a recipient of childhood trauma, one moment changes lives. And I think the overarching theme was that beneath all the complexity of the screenplay and how well executed it was, Dobaara is a what if film, and it's deeper, and it just cares about the story and the characters in a very different realm. It is it's a story of escalating contentment, of happiness, but in a form of a thriller. It's also a story of waiting and hoping, and waiting, and these entire timelines intertwine with each other. So fundamentally, the question that the movie answers is, can we change the life we are destined to live?
And I think for a film to, really come home with something thought-provoking like that, and also explore how, as you said, childhood trauma and one event in the life can also, kind of shape or change the ultimate course of that life as well. I think if you're able to really come to this movie and pull away with that theme, then this is doing its job very well. So
I also want to point out two very important things over here. Number one, the original Spanish Mirage is a little instructional, because when the butterfly effect comes into being, the movie explains to its audience. This movie doesn't do it. It doesn't treat its audiences as dumb people. It does not. It believes that it actually engages the audience to find out more about these concepts. It does not go instructional on them. And I think that was a very, very, very important aspect of this